Hi there, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I'm going to talk about how you can structure your ad account in Facebook in 2024. Let's dive in. If you're running Facebook ads now, or have done in the past, there's tons of different ways for you to structure your ad account. You'll find different people teaching different methodology, and things do change over time. I remember when we first started running really big budgets, we would create like 100 ad sets at $10 a day, right? And we would set auto rules to come in and reduce the budget by 5% or increase the budget by 5%, depending on how the ad set went. And it would go all the way down to, very granular, and it would shut off ad sets if it didn't have a certain performance over a certain number of days. And, it was all automatically done, and it really did work for a while, right? But what happened is that the algorithm kept on getting smarter and smarter, and there was less kind of need for us to do that kind of micromanagement, I guess. And what we found over time is that it's just easy. You don't have to have such of a kind of granular media buying approach to how you're running your ads, okay? And I would always say, if you've listened to my videos before, that if you have your kind of creative and your offer in place, then things become a lot less easier, and all of this kind of media buying stuff goes out the window. You can just let it run, and that's happening for us at the moment. We're running an ad for one of our offers, which is a sales Android to help businesses close and set appointments without having to hire new staff, and it's all kind of using AI and all that type of cool stuff. And because it's it's an example of it's a really hot offer right now, with a lot of people talking about it. So when you got that element, and we combine that with some good creative at the moment, that's me in front of the camera explaining it, and we're using Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels and Facebook Stories. I always get that wrong. We're using that type of creative with that type of offer, and when you combine them, it really doesn't matter which way you structure your stuff. Even your targeting doesn't matter so much, because Facebook will just find the kind of leads because it's a broad offer, right? But saying that, there's a few kind of basic tips that I'll give to you before I hand over to my account manager, Graham. The first thing is that you should never have one ad inside an ad set, okay? And it sounds kind of counterintuitive. Facebook hates it when you only have one kind of ad to optimize with, right? So we've run tests where we've had one ad by itself, and then the same, like in one ad set, and then another ad in another ad set with a split test, right? Even though the same ad wins, it's much cheaper in the other ad set, because it just, for some reason, it just gives Facebook more to go after, more to spin its wheels against. So a pet peeve of mine is always when I see inside the ad accounts, if people are running just one ad. For us, and from our experience, it works best if you have two, at minimum two. The other thing that I see, and it's fairly basic common sense, right? But you'll see newbies coming in, or some people with experience, running an ad set with a budget of like $50 a day and having 30 different ads in there, right? And what happens is that Facebook's trying to spread the cost to test all the ads. And then what happens is that they only get a few bucks a day each, and they just they're never getting enough to make some real significant gains to show you what the best ad set is. It might work after like 30 days, but by that time it's too late, all right? You really want to be able to have enough spend inside your ad sets so each of the ads get enough to kind of get running, if that makes sense. Even though that's not ad structure, it's kind of good advice that I wanted to pass over to you before I pass over to Graham, to show you what inside our live ad account, what the ad structure looks like. And I guess over to you, Graham. Enjoy.
Hey guys, thanks Dan for that. I'm just going to take you through how we kind of set up our campaigns and the structure we use. It's important to point out that everyone has their own favourite structure, and there's not one kind of set structure that I think guarantees success. But there's definitely ways you can structure your campaigns and ad sets and ads to better utilise the Facebook algorithm. So I've got two examples here of two ways we do it. I'm going to go through the first one. This is if you've got a little bit less money to spend on your ad account, and you've kind of got minimum creative skills, and you just kind of just want to get out some ads very quickly. This is the way we do it. So we do a demo campaign where you create it here. It would open up. Normally these days we would have campaign objective as leads. I'm just going to create a new one just so you can see what it looks like when we do it. So we would probably select leads here, press continue. You can kind of see what it shows here. Leads is basically like a lead form or things like that. You can do offsite conversions with them, but this is kind of the way we structure our campaigns at the moment. I tend to not use campaign budget optimization at the moment. I tend to go for ad set budget just because it gives you better control over what audiences are getting, what spend, basically. So that's what that looks like. That's the easy bit. Then this is where the structure really comes into play. So depending on how much money you have, I normally like to start with at least kind of like 4 ad sets and 4 ads. Each ad set will have a different audience, and each ad set will have the same 4 ads in each ad set. So for example, go in audience 1, select instant forms there. You select the page. It's because it's a lead campaign. If you went sales and did conversions, you wouldn't need this page in here. You select your daily budget, and this is for the ad set, remember? And then you would select your location and geo-targeting here. So targeting the UK in 1865s, we can knock that down to, say, 23 to 58. And then up here is where you can add in like your custom audiences or lookalikes, or any audience you've created in the audience section. That's where you'll find those. And then down here, this is where you can start targeting interests. So, for example, if we wanted to find people who are interested in marketing, type in marketing, and there'll be loads of digital marketing strategy, and these interests. And on the right-hand side, you can kind of see the size of the audience as well. And each ad set, you'll want a different audience in there. You can turn on the advantage dehedral targeting. I wouldn't recommend it if you're just starting out, because that basically lets Facebook go beyond your targeting settings to try and find people. If you haven't got any data in the account, you don't really want to turn that on. You only really want to use that if you've got a lot of data in the account, so Facebook knows who it's searching for, basically. Then you've got the placements. We'll go with the recommended advantage placements, all automatic targeting. In this instance, it will go out to every single placement on Facebook, and then you can start to break it down and see where the best placements are. And you can see that if you go to this little thing here, you can go down to by delivery, and you go to placement, and then that will show you all the placements it's shown up in. Obviously, we haven't shown any ads yet, so it's not going to show here, but that will show you your Instagram feed, your Facebook feed, Facebook stories, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, all that kind of stuff. So I'd probably say you want at least $20 on each ad set, at least. You can have way more on each ad set depending on how much money you have, but you don't want to go too low, otherwise there's not going to be enough spend to really do a good test on the audience and the ads. And then here's where I have 4 ads in here. As you can see, there's four square images, and this is basically allowing Facebook to have multiple options to put to the algorithm, because the algorithm loves choice. One thing I will never do is just have one ad in an ad set. Again, it can work down the line if it's a really good ad and it works really well, but Facebook always seems to work better when they have at least 2 in the ad set, just so it has a choice of what to show the audience. They don't like being forced to just show one thing, because it doesn't allow itself to optimize and learn. So I've just always gone with 4. You can go with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Depends how big the test you want to do, and it depends on your budget as well. So say, for example, if you've got £20 on this ad set, say if, and it's a big if they decided to spend evenly on all the ads, you'd have £5 on each ad per day. That's probably not even enough, really, depending on how much your traffic costs. But anymore, so say I had 8 ads, that then means there's only £2.50 a day being spent on each ad, in theory. it doesn't actually work like that. Normally, it has its favourites and it skews the spend to the favourite ads, and their least favourite ads get less spend. But that's not enough. So bear that in mind. If you've only got a small budget, I'd probably go 2 ads to start. Say if you've got £20 per ad set, I'd go 2 ads to start. The more money you have, the more ads you can have in there. I like to go with 4 anyway. But yeah, so just to go through it, standard structure that we would do is campaign, 3 ad sets, each with a different audience, all showing the same ads to, and then there's 4 ads that I will have in each ad set. The second one, this is slightly different. This is if you've got a bit more money, but we've found that Reels really work well if you've got an optimized ad for that placement. So if you think 16:9 videos or images, which is basically like the size of the iPhone screen, it works really well if you just place that in Reels. And you can actually siphon off some spend to Reels as well, because what happens is in automatic placements, Facebook will always prioritize the feeds because there's so much more traffic on there and cheaper traffic as well. So feeds are brilliant. Don't get me wrong, feeds are brilliant, but sometimes you do want to spend a little bit more on Reels if you've got a quality Reel that works really well. And the way we'd structure this is we would siphon off some spend for the Reels and for the feeds. And if we just go into, we'll have 3 audiences, but we'll have 3 audiences we want to test. But that will mean that you'll have 6 ad sets because you've got 1 ad set for feeds and 1 ad set for Reels. So just to show you what I mean by this, if we go into the audience 1, this is just by feed, so it'll be all the same. You'd have the exact same audience here as we did on the last one I showed you in audience 1. But this time you'll select manual placements, and then you'll scroll down and you'll just take out the stories. This is for the feeds ad set. You'll just take out stories and reels like that. And then on the Reels, you'll scroll all the way down, have the exact same audience, but you'll take out everything else and just have stories and Reels ticked there. And inside each ad account, so in the feeds, we'll have the same. I'll just discard that. We'll have the same ads. One sec, just cool. So in the feeds, we'll have the exact same ads here, like this, and that's just going to the feeds. That's just 1x1 square image. That's going to the feeds, and then in the Reels, we'll have. It's not showing right now, but we'd have 4 different videos. I can show you this. It's not gonna. Just show you quickly. Original, cool, done. And it'll be like a kind of a reel like this. As you can see on the right hand side, it'll be something like that. It's just going straight to stories and Reels. And then you run that, and then you kind of like optimize and see which is doing best. And it just allows you to spend your money a bit better if you've got a lot of money in the budget to spend on ads. It allows you to put it across multiple different ad sets and really target Reels and feeds, because we have found that there's some really good traffic in Reels. It's slightly more expensive for CPM, but it's way cheaper for clicks and leads in our experience, and that's with a UGC kind of ad where it's a selfie type of video where someone's speaking into the camera about a product or service. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much how we structure our campaigns at the moment. And it's the best way to kind of like get the spend and let Facebook run with it. Down the line, after we've got a lot of data in, we would probably go to lookalikes and broad audiences as well. So, for example, you could just have 1 campaign, 1 ad set, just broad, big budget, lots of ads in there, and let that run. But we'd only ever do that after we've got, say, about 1,000 clicks in the account or 500 conversions, because otherwise Facebook will waste your money normally. It can still work out the gate, but only if it's like a very broad offer. But yeah, guys, hopefully that's helpful. And obviously drop me a comment below if you have any questions. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.
Okay, thanks, Graham. I hope you've enjoyed the video today with him and my kind of high-level tips beforehand. This is the way we're doing it. Yeah, as I say, it doesn't have to be the way that you do things. It's just what's working for us. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, comment below and we'll get back to you. Also, if you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you'll be the first to know whenever there's new videos that come out like this. Take care.